This is the camp before Fredericksburg on legendary difficulty. So the big thing here is if you're playing this game on legendary difficulty, you really have to watch Panda Kraut's playthrough because he really explains how so many things work and really, and it's you really have to power game or meta game um, legendary difficulty. I mean, you can't just get hit by the AI doing its crazy stuff. So one of the things he talks about is like right here, fourth and fifth core. Okay, I'm going to have a fifth core. And he's going to bring in 95,000. So depending on the manpower pool, other people have faced 120,000 here or more. I'm going to face 95,000. So I don't know that going into it, but that's what I'm going to face. So the the thing that's really, really helpful, which I got from Pandakraut, is that fourth core will come in on the left with, no, I've forgotten. I have to, fourth core will come in on the left with 10 units, and fifth core will come in on the right flank with 9 units. So if you know that, you know how to build your army. Otherwise, you're just guessing. So I needed 5 cores, so I needed 10 points in army organization, which I have, and I'm going to bring in a fourth and fifth core of 9 and 10 units. And those units are going to be very helpful in fighting this next battle. I was surprised how easy this battle was. So, but part of it is building the right army, I think, in camp. And I built an army that worked for me. So my plan is to put, I have a lot of 2-star units now, but I need to move them around. So what I'm going to do is pretty much my strongest core is going to go on my far right flank. My next best core, because I figure at Mary's Heights I'm going to take a lot of losses, so is going to be on the left flank. So I don't want my absolute best core to take a ton of losses. And then I'm going to have a complete third core in the center. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone do this before. I mean, that's 24 units in each of those cores, including the center gets 24 units. So in addition, there's going to be 9 and 10 on the right and left flank. So on my far left is going to be almost 34, and on my far right flank is going to be 34. That's a lot of units. That's a lot of coverage. Now, a lot of those units are only going to be 1,000 men. First Corps and Second Corps, particularly First Division, are going to be a little over strength. Then everyone else is going to, be closer to 1,100 or 1,200, depending on where they are. And then the last guys to come in are only going to be 1,000, because I just need them to give coverage of the battlefield. So I don't quite have enough weapons. I calculate how many weapons I can buy with the almost $500,000 I have. This is not going to be about putting veterans in the army. This is going to be about buying good weapons. And so, yeah, that's something I do. So I have to move officers around quite a bit in this because I put my best 2-star officers in the army for the last 2 battles, so I have to take them out and put them back in Corps Command. And I want to put, as usual, as many majors as I possibly can into my worst units and start a whole bunch of new units with colonels, so they have 1 star. So bottom line is everybody comes in with a star. So you're probably wondering what I'm doing here. What I did was I took all of my good officers and put them into the Army. And I'm creating a bunch of majors. I decide that I just don't have enough majors, and I want a bunch of majors. I want as many majors as I can possibly get so that I can put them in command of units that have already been in combat once. And this is pretty cheap. I mean, this is only like $600 a unit. So, but as many of my units as possible who can take a major, particularly one of these cheapo majors, will do it. And if you have all of your officers in the Army, then you can create a bunch of majors by just simply creating units. The game will let you create, let you buy as you can see, a 0-bar major. That's fine. I'm perfectly happy with this because my units are going to get a ton of kills. These majors are going to be lieutenant colonels. And, this is, in my mind, probably the last time I have to worry about building officers because, we're now at 5th Corps. So but I'm doing this for Gettysburg. And because I want to have 5 corps at Gettysburg. I'm not sure if you get to bring all of 4th and 5th Corps, or if you just bring 2 divisions like you pretty much do with the Union. Really only 2 divisions of 4th and 5th Corps really get in the battle any period of time. I don't know. I'll read and research and find out if that's the case, but that's my guess. But my units are going from 20 units per corps to 24, and I want to make sure I have enough majors. And what I'll do is units that fight a battle with a colonel will swap out with a major for their second battle. Those colonels will go build a brand new unit. This should be the last time I have to worry about this. I have such a good officer corps at this point that I should be able to now have enough officers that it's just not a concern. So I would still rather buy majors than generals just to save cash. And what I want to do with my cash, you can see right here. I'm buying rifles. So yeah, and I'm buying a lot of rifles. The $500,000 that I had saved up is now gone. And the quality of my army, though, is now, much higher because I bought a pile of rifles. So yeah, giving these troops rifles instead of 42s. And I'm still not going to have enough rifles. All the rifles I just bought for the army I'm about to bring in, still not good enough. I'm still going to have units with 42s, unfortunately. And unfortunately, they're going to be in the fight. Well, units with Harper's Ferries and CS Richmonds will be sitting out the fight, oddly enough. Wait until you see it. The AI attacks me in a place I didn't expect. And I have some 42s, and their only purpose is just to give me coverage of the battlefield and prevent his cav from doing craziness. Like getting behind my line, and he ends up attacking what I think is a safe flank with a huge force, and my 42s end up fighting. And the flank I thought he was going to attack in force just sits quietly and has lunch and sips coffee. And they read Les Miserables at that time. And so they were all over there reading, doing their book club activities and not fighting. So yeah, my really good units with Harper's Ferries and CS Richmonds were having a nap, while my brand new units with 42s were slugging it out with an entire Union Corps, as you're about to see. But it worked out. So anyway, the whole point of that exercise was to create a lot of majors, and I wanted to see what that did with scaling, and apparently nothing here, but I suspect that it affects scaling in the next phase. I don't know. I have 73,000 men. So then I go and delete all those guys, and I'm going to put Lee in First Corps. And he hasn't gotten his perks yet because I haven't used him yet, because I've been trying to get some of my other commanders XP. And my next best 2-star is here, and he already has his perks, and my next best 2-star is Spears. He's close to getting his 3rd star. And yeah, if you put all your 2-stars just in the inventory, then they'll be sorted by rank. So AP Hill, and then Thomas Jackson, and that's great. So General Legendary has terrible perks, so he's a good division commander. And then the question is, yeah, which of my artillery units need the absolute best 2-star commander that I have? So the 20-pound parrot, I think, is probably the right choice. And then the other guys are probably going to have to get by with generals that aren't quite as good. But that's a good. The long range guns are a nice safe place for your 2-stars to rack up some XP and become 3-stars. So I'm not against that. My 24-pound howitzers are only 2-star units, not 3-star, and I can put probably a colonel in most of those, and that'll be fine. So Longstreet, that's a good look at that. That's really good. He's right. Command line is almost as yeah. So that's good. My next most important unit is the James. And that's about as good as, yeah. The Whitworth is consistent, but not going to be outstanding. And, yeah, that's good. So I have 5 3-star artillery units. And then the question is where to place them. This guy needs a better officer. And that's the best we can do. So we'll make that guy a division commander. And then after that, I guess, yeah, move around the 1-star commanders and put them in division command. I have to create a lot of division commands and with good commanders, because when you have side battles, you can put the worst colonel in the army in there, and then you want to put a better officer in there for the grand battle when everybody's actually going to fight. Yeah, I did some calculation, how many men I have, how many units to create, how many guns, and I would really like first division, my first division infantry, to be closer to 1,300. And then second division can be 1,250. And my units on Mary's Heights are going to be a little bit different because I want the units that are a little weaker with Enfields and 55s to be in the fortifications. This turns out to be a mistake. My guys in the fortifications get an incredible kill ratio. So it's good for the Enfields, the 1-star Enfields. Good for them. I mean, they get a boatload of kills and they go up in efficiency quite a bit and a huge kill ratio. But really, my 2-star units most of them were in reserve most of the time, and they didn't end up getting the kill ratios of the lower efficiency troops. And my higher efficiency troops, yes, would have taken more losses, but not a lot of losses. My units don't take the losses I think they're going to take. And I'm surprised how many kills they get. So, yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just marry up units with the lowest level commander I can give them to give them a command line greater than their efficiency line. All the way down to my infantry getting, the worst possible major I can give them as long as the efficiency line is higher. The command line is better than the efficiency line. So that was a good guess. But maybe a little bit more. That 24-pound howitzer during the course of the battle should get a bunch of kills. So maybe I want a commander who's going to be a little bit better. So now he needs a better commander to get make the star active. And he's a 24-pound howitzer. Again, that was a good guess. So yeah, paying very close attention to maximizing. My artillery is very important to my game. So getting the right commander in the artillery is something I focus on. Getting the right gun in the right unit. Yeah, that works out. Yeah, that's sweet. If I can get majors in my artillery, it's even better. Turn majors into lieutenant colonels. This is going to be a big battle for getting officers' promotions. I'm just making sure that when I put the officer in, the white bar is a little bit further to the right. That guy was exactly the same. So that commander's fine. The 4th Division commander doesn't have to be quite as good as everybody else. So, yeah, this guy needs to be a little better. That's a corps commander, or a colonel. That's no good. Oh, but then I remember only 2 divisions are coming in. 3 divisions are not coming in. So the commanders of 3rd and 4th Division and 4th and 5th Corps need to be absolutely the worst corps commanders in the Army, which is no bar commanders. And I happen to have a couple of those. Yeah, because these guys aren't going to do anything. Okay, so my division commanders are set. I think most of my artillery is set. I'm checking to make sure that 1st Corps is set. So yeah, I take everybody in the first part of the division to 1300. 2nd Corps, take those guys to 1300, 1250. You'll notice my Enfield units here in 3rd and 4th Division, they're 1400. Those are the guys going to go into the fortifications. My 2-star units are not going to go into the fortifications. They're back up the line. My units that are 1400 are going on the line. They have Enfields, every one of them. They're going to be perfectly fine. 2nd Corps is going in at Mary's Heights. 3rd Corps is going into the center. They need to be 1100, 1200. They have Enfields, Lorenzes, 1 unit of M&Gs. So this is the unit, 4th Corps. I think 4th Corps goes left. and 5th Corps goes right, and at this point I run out of weapons. So, and you'll notice my sniper is bringing up the rear. So my sniper is not going to come in initially, but these units come in right away. So my sniper will be there very quickly. I run out of weapons. That's it. I run out of weapons. I decided not to create farmer units, and you can see I run out of men too. So I only have 20,000 in cash and 94 men in my inventory pool. And okay, let's see the damage. The numbers on the screen for the enemy haven't changed. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we have 73,533 and 224 guns. So yeah, it's a good day. And I'll see you in the Battle of Fredericksburg.